Hi there, I'm Maria. Welcome to my channel Planners in Practice. Here I talk about planning, personal growth, and creativity. We are trying to identify and make constant progress on our most meaningful goals and build lives that we are excited to wake up to. So today I'm creating my February planner setup. My theme for this month is Love in Paris, and here's a sneak peek of my cover and a couple of spreads. So let's get started with the drawing. I've already prepared everything, penciled it out for this cover, and it's basically inspired from a picture I saw on Pinterest. The quote that I picked is, "To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance," and I think this is very important to be reminded of every now and again. So in this setup, I'm spending quite a lot of time drawing, but the key thing for any planning process is that the spreads are actually useful. All of the decorations are just on top and only if you feel like it. It just happens to be something that I really like doing, and it's kind of a meditation for me. So getting into the actual spreads, one of the most important ones for me is the monthly goals and tasks spread. This is where I need to see everything that needs to happen this month so that I can feel like I've had a productive one. I'm adding top 3 goals, both in personal and business sections, and then I've left a to-do list with quite a few lines to note down the most important things that need to happen during the month. On the left, you can see the Wheel of Life, which is a really cool tool for identifying goals, but also for just having a check-in with yourself, seeing how your life is going in all of its key areas. You can also see I've added some hearts. Actually, throughout the theme you can see lots and lots of hearts because of the theme. Then there's notes and ideas section for, well, notes and ideas. But let's talk about why this spread is important and why we need to have it. As we get into the busy day-to-day life, it's very easy to forget about all the things that are important but not so urgent. So having a place like this where you can keep the most important things for you front and center can be really helpful and really make a difference. The things that I want, for example, my personal goals, are stuff that nobody will come and say, "Hey, how are you doing on this or that?" It's something that I need to keep myself accountable for, and that's why the planner is my best friend here. If I want to make it happen, I need to remind myself about it because I know there are a lot of other things happening all the time, and my attention will just drift into the most urgent thing in front of me. Then on the right you can see a pretty standard calendar. I'm trying to have the boxes a bit bigger, so they're about 3 centimeters the side of the square, so that I can write down any appointments or key dates that I need to remember. Then going in with some watercolors. It's not too elaborate, and as you can see I am still learning and experimenting as I go. Next spread is a mood and habits tracker, and for the mood tracker I remembered this, again, very cute picture that I saw on Instagram with a jar of hearts, so I did my interpretation of it and then added some high heels just because. No particular reason. Then the habit tracker I added below is for 8 things that I can track throughout the whole month, and I love having this grid for everything, and I've noticed that when I do a few of them in a certain day, I'm always drawn to keep going and finish all the rest as well. And once I have, let's say, 5 out of 8 on one day, then the next one I'm always trying to add one more. It's like a game with myself, and it's quite weird. And then inevitably there comes a day where I can barely do any of it. But the most important thing I found is, even if I need to skip something, not more than a day. 2 days in a row is an absolute max. And even if there are a few more, I keep telling myself that it's always better to come back than to abandon it altogether. And for the jar of hearts, there are 28 hearts in there, one for every day of the month, and we'll decide what color we're gonna use for feeling okay, good, or great. Then on the next page, we have another key spread, and that's the monthly review. It's all nice and well setting goals and to-do lists during the month, but the most important thing, if we really want to make a positive difference in our life, is to reflect and to have this dedicated space where at the end of every month we come back, we look back at the beginning, what we meant to do and how we did. Here I'm tracking 3 key things to make it simple and doable, but still get value out of it. First one is wins and accomplishments, as it's very easy to take those for granted, and it's sometimes like looking in the mirror every day. You don't see such a big difference, but if you look at a photo of you from 10 years ago, chances are there will be quite some differences. So keeping track of those little wins along the way always helps us take account of our actual progress. And also makes us feel good to see all the nice stuff that we managed to do. Then challenges, things that I have struggled with during the month. That could be personal, could be business, anything really goes in here. And last but not least is the next month section, stuff or ideas that I want to try, change, basically any reminders for myself about things that I want to try or do in the following month. Then quickly adding some color on the pages. Moving on to another couple of spreads that I've called notes and ideas, and these are basically blank spreads with a few versions of different layouts where I can write down any ideas, thoughts, things that I want to keep but do not necessarily fit in any of the other pages. So I have the 3 columns on the left together with some dotted area for maybe some drawings or sketches, and then lines on the right hand side. Then moving on to the weekly spread. It's a pretty classic one. I have space for each day of the week and one for the weekend, as I've seen that I tend to have less things going on during the weekend, and also a notes area. On the other side, again very important for me, is the weekly goals. This one is similar to the monthly goals page, but obviously it's for a week, and this one is basically a breakdown of the other one. So whatever we have on the monthly goals page needs to be translated here. So broken down into each week. What steps I need to complete this week so that at the end of the month, the monthly goal would be completed. And again, this is a reminder, as I have everything going on, which is usually stuff that I'm reacting to, appointments, deadlines, stuff like that on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I can always keep an eye on my goals and see where in the week there are slots where I can put those in to make sure those get attention as well. Then I have again a to-do list, and same thing as in the monthly reflection, the wins and challenges from the week, as well as stuff that I want to remember to test, try, or migrate to the next week. At the very bottom, there's a bit of space that I've left for notes as well. Here is the colored version of the weekly spread, and this is a flip through of the whole setup. As you can see, for some of the pages, I haven't filmed the drawing process, but to be honest, I got a bit frustrated with the lack of a proper color palette for this theme. But I promised myself that even if not perfect, I will still keep going. So it's just a lesson for next month. And yeah, we don't need to be perfect, we just need to be consistent and keep going, right? This is a prime example of this. And that's everything for my February setup. If you're also trying to get back to planning and having a full setup feels a bit overwhelming, it's perfectly fine to pick a couple or even just single spread that feels most useful for you and try to stick with that. Making small steps over time is much better than trying to change everything in your life all at once. So take it one step at a time, pick something that works for you and a rhythm that you can commit to for the next month. Let me know in the comments which one would that be for you. I would love to hear about your experience. The whole point is to start the month with a focused, clear mind and feeling more on top of things. One final thing to share, to reduce friction so that you can actually try this for yourself, I've turned the spread that I think would be most useful into a printable download. So you can find the link down below or somewhere on the screen, and you can just get and print that out and see if that works. Thanks for watching. I hope you found something useful here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!